All right, today we are breaking down a totally revolutionary way to do AI research. We're talking about a system where the AI itself does all the heavy lifting. We're diving into the Autoresearch codebase, which is all about flipping the script on how we find that next big breakthrough. Let's get into it.
So, the project's creator, Karpathy, kicks things off with this incredible vision of the future. He's painting a picture of a world, and not a distant one, where research is completely driven by these swarms of AI agents. And this isn't just some fun sci fi idea, it is the absolute core philosophy behind the code we're about to unpack. And this is the question that brings that future into the here and now. What if you could just point your AI in a research direction, head to bed, and then wake up to a detailed log of like 100 different experiments that ran overnight? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. It's the very real goal of this auto research project.
Okay, so let's start with the basic idea here. The whole concept is to give an AI agent a real, even if a bit simplified, language model training setup, and then just let it go. You give it the tools, set a general direction, and then empower it to start experimenting all on its own. The whole thing runs on this beautifully simple but incredibly powerful loop. The agent grabs the training code, makes a change, maybe it tweaks the model architecture or fiddles with a hyperparameter, and then it kicks off a quick 5-minute training run. After that, it checks the results, figures out if that change was any good, and then it just repeats the process, learning and getting better all by itself. Now, what's really cool is how this is all put together. You might be expecting some super complicated system, right? But the whole project is designed with this elegant simplicity. It really just boils down to 3 key files. You can think of them like a tiny, super specialized research team. And this table just lays out that separation of duties perfectly. First up, you've got prepare.py. This thing handles all the data prep you only need to do once. The human sets it up, and then you just don't touch it. Then you've got train.py, which is really the heart of the whole operation. This is the AI agent's sandbox. It's the only file it's allowed to change. And finally, there's program.md. Think of this as your command center. It's the bridge between your big ideas and the agent's actual work. So this new structure, it completely changes your job. You're no longer the hands-on coder, tweaking every single line of Python. Instead, you get a promotion. You become the manager of your very own autonomous AI research agent. And this is absolutely crucial. Your main job is to work with that simple markdown file. But how do you write a good instruction? Well, you have to think like a manager, not a micromanager. You give the strategic what and why, not the nitty-gritty how. So for example, instead of telling it exactly which line of code to alter, you'd write something like, the current model uses a standard layer norm. I want you to explore some alternative normalization techniques and see if you can improve the validation loss. See? You set a clear goal, you give it context, and then you let the agent figure out the best way to get it done. Okay, let's walk through what a typical overnight cycle looks like to see how this all comes together. Because this is where the magic really happens, turning your downtime into some serious research time. So picture this. It's 10 p.m. and you're drafting your big picture research goals in program.md. By 11 p.m., the agent's already off to the races, running its first 5-minute experiment. Then, while you're asleep, let's say it's 3 a.m., it's already on its 48th try, constantly tweaking train.py based on what you told it to do. By the time you pour your morning coffee, around 100 experiments are in the bag, and you can just sit down and review this amazing log of what worked, what didn't, and why. So how does the agent even know if it's making things better? Well, it all comes down to this one single metric, validation bits per byte, or val-BPB. The only thing you really need to remember is that a lower number is better. And here's the really clever part. It's vocabulary size independent. In simple terms, that means the agent can try totally different things, like even change how it understands words. And we can still use this one number to see which experiment was better. It's the ultimate judge of what's working. And that number, around 100 experiments, is only possible because of that strict 5-minute time budget. And that constraint is so important. It creates a level playing field so that every single experiment, no matter how wild the changes are, can be compared directly. It's what turns your downtime into a research powerhouse. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have a massive H100 GPU. Well, good news. Even though this was designed for powerful hardware, that doesn't mean you're left out. With just a few key tweaks, you can absolutely get this running on a laptop or a regular desktop gaming PC. So these 7 changes are all about one thing, simplifying the problem. By using a smaller data set and dialing back things like the model depth and batch size, you make sure the agent can still find real meaningful improvements and get that validation loss lower, all within that tight 5-minute window, even on a less powerful machine. It really makes this tool accessible to so many more people. So, after that whole overnight cycle is done, what have you actually gained? It's way more than just a list of scores. You fundamentally changed how you even approach research. And this is the key takeaway. Your role just completely evolves. You get to move out of the weeds of writing and debugging every single line of code, and instead, you focus on the high-level strategy and interpreting the results. You become the director, the manager of an autonomous research organization of one, all powered by your AI agent. This project really does open up a whole new frontier for experimentation. It lets us test hundreds of ideas at once, which is just incredible. And it leaves all of us with one very, very exciting question to think about as we wrap up our day.